This week on Steel Horse Thunder, we head up north for the Hoosier Burn Camp ride.
We started back with probably about a dozen children in 1999, and now we run programs January through December. So it's not unusual for us to work with close to 200 unique burn survivors throughout the course of the calendar year.
Then it's the annual Ride to the Wall for Rolling Thunder, and it wouldn't be right if we weren't there to see them off.
It's a good purpose that we're going on the ride for, to make sure our government doesn't forget about POW and MIA issues. And it spreads through the group really quick, just as you've noticed.
All that and much more this week on Steel Horse Thunder.
Steel Horse is brought to you by Leidendorf Law, with over 60 years experience in motorcycle and automotive injury cases.
You have been injured in an automobile collision, and suddenly your vocabulary has been expanded to include terms totally unfamiliar to you. We know accidents can be overwhelming to the injured victims and their families. You know you can put your trust in the familiar faces of Leidendorf Law. We take care of you and your family so that you can focus on recovering from your injuries. Leidendorf Law, like family, because we are.
Don't look now. Crambo's isn't just paint. It's your one-stop shop for motorcycle gear, parts, and service. Crambo's, voted the Indy A-List #1 motorcycle shop 2 years running, has expanded with the state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment for tuning your fuel-injected Harley and a new paint facility to make your bike stand out from all the others. Crambo's also has a new retail area complete with leather, chrome, audio, and all your parts and service needs. Crambo's, voted #1 for a reason.
Hey, I'm with Vince at Renegade Classics, 96 and Allisonville Road. Vince, what's going on this year?
Well, we tried for the summer season, we tried to expand on more popular lines. We've increased our accessories. Kiriakin's got a couple new lines we're carrying, increased our helmet volume, and increased our boots. So all the stuff that people seem to want most of the summer, we try to get more of for you.
Right on. And you guys are still hosting a lot of rides and allowing rides to start here and
Absolutely.
end here?
Yeah, we'll host anyone's event. And just keep an eye on your calendar or on our Facebook page, and we'll keep those events posted so people can follow along.
Dude, I know things are going good, and I know you got some other things going on, and man, it's going to be another good year.
It is. It's going to be good. Starting off great already.
No doubt. And remember, when you come in here, make sure you let them know Steel Horse Thunder sent you. Hey, we're up here at Indianapolis Airport. Rolling Thunder's getting ready to make their trek out to Washington, D.C. for the demonstration ride. Let's go talk to everybody and find out what's going on. Well, Governor, we're here at the send-off for Rolling Thunder. They're getting ready to head out to Washington, D.C. What made you decide to come out here this morning?
Well, I was asked, and I didn't think about it for 2 seconds. We're wishing them Godspeed and safety, and I know they're going to be able to meet with some folks once they get out there and remind them about what our #1 job is, and that's to make sure that we're doing everything we can to try to bring home our men and women in uniform. And I just appreciate so much that they're willing to do this, and really it's not just today, but it's they have stuck with this, and it's all about perseverance. So I just can't do enough myself, and getting out here today was the least of what I can do.
Well, and I know you're a military man yourself, and being in Indianapolis, obviously the weekend here means the Indianapolis 500, and I know you have a lot of headaches with that, but it's, 2 years ago, we actually went on the ride with these guys, and it's amazing how much now this weekend means something totally different to me now than it ever did. And I could imagine as a military person, it probably means an awful lot to you.
Well, yeah, and that's something that's special about the Indianapolis 500 is I think the 30 minutes leading up to the race is just as important, certainly, and special than the last 30 minutes of the race. Some people wait till the very last lap to find out who the winner is. But I'm reminded about who the real winners are, and that's we as Americans, because of people that have worn the uniform, that have protected our freedoms each and every day. And the 30 minutes kind of leading up to the start of the race is all about our patriotism. And there's no more patriotic state than Indiana. So I'm proud to be a Hoosier and stand with these men and women.
Amen. Well, I have one last question for you. The governor's ride. It's been going on for quite a while now, and I'm just curious.
It's going to continue to go on, and I've got permission to buy a bike from my wife, so I just need to get her done.
Well, you're a big guy, so you can ride a bike pretty easy. It would be great. It's just there was just something always special about that. Back when we had Governor Daniels and then Governor Pence, and and now Governor Holcomb, it would be awfully cool to see you out there on a bike with us, or at least out there with us.
Oh, I'll be out there with you for sure. And they both have expressed directly to me how therapeutic it is. And the camaraderie is, special, obviously as well. But just being out there, I think you can even think better when you're on a bike. So looking forward to being with you.
All right, now I know you as Big Daddy. Was able to take this ride with you a couple years ago. Obviously, this is not your first time. What are you looking forward to this year? Is it different every year?
This is my 15th year.
Right.
And yeah, it's gotten a little bit routine. But when you think about the families that are still waiting for their POWs that they knew were alive at the end of the war that never came home, and you think about the families that are still waiting to find out about their loved ones that are missing in action. We have some of them in our chapter. It breaks your heart because they don't know. Their status gets changed from living to dead to they don't know what. They deserve answers. And because that's still going on, that's why I ride. It's not so much for me, it's more for them.
Right on. Well, dude, I appreciate it. And I know, you said a blessing earlier, and I know you pray around the whole entire trip. I appreciate that, and I appreciate what you do.
Well, we appreciate your support too, and we're just looking for a good, safe ride. That's the main thing. But like I said, we're trying to get the message out there. Still living Americans being held captive, and they deserve the right to come home. They have that right.
All right, man. Is this your first trip to DC?
It's my first trip out for the Ride to the Wall, yes.
So do you have your badge?
I do now, yes.
You do have an FNG badge? Dude, I'm telling you what, I hold it dearly, man. I've got mine. I went a couple years ago. All I can tell you is it will change your life. Do you have any plans of what you think you might see when you go out here?
I've got a nice Cuban cigar. We're ready for the Lincoln Memorial. Gonna sit down and have a cigar.
Well, brother, you're with a bunch of safe people, good riders. This is going to be one of the safest trips you've ever been on, and I guarantee you your life will be changed when you come back.
Nope, I'm looking forward to it.
Right on. Be safe.
Thank you.
All right, Bill, another year has passed, and it's time to go to D.C. Little kind of inclement weather, a little mist going on, a little cool out, but it's not as bad as it was 2 years ago when we went with you.
Yes, we don't expect to see any snow. I think we're going to be wet the whole ride over, and it looks like maybe some of the ride back, but we're excited about it, and it's a mission for us, so we're glad to be going.
And it is amazing. On a ride like this, the weather doesn't seem to affect you as much because of the whole meaning behind all of this. And I'm sure somebody like you who's been out here many, many times, what is it for you when you're getting ready to take off?
Well, the camaraderie, like you say, gets you right through the weather, even though it's a little chilly, it's a little rainy this morning. It's a good purpose that we're going on the ride for, to make sure our government doesn't forget about POW, MIA issues. And it spreads through the group really quick, just as you've noticed.
Oh, it's changed this whole weekend is a totally different thing for me now after being on that trip with you guys. And even the whole time I was in DC, I thought I cried all I could possibly cry. And then we stop in Ohio on the way home, and we have the gathering together there, and it was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think there were tears left inside me. Will you guys be doing that again this year?
Yeah, matter of fact, last night in our last orientation meeting, we gave the invitation to everybody to come on over, and I tried to explain to them, even if you think you don't have anything to say, come on over and listen, because it's very moving and it's very therapeutical for a lot of veterans.
All right, man, I know you're leading this whole thing, so I'm going to let you get going, and thanks, man. God bless you guys.
Okay.
Chuck, you're one of the road captains here. You're leading one of the squads. How stressful is this ride for you?
Okay. We have 10 squads, and this is the biggest formation we've had yet going to DC. I'm squad 3 squad leader, and it's real stressful as far as running in a group, so we've broken it down into squads to make it easier. I only have 8 bikes in my squad. That's all I have to worry about. We stay a quarter mile between each squad.
And I'm telling you, it's by far the safest ride I have ever gone on. By far the safest ride I've ever been a part of. You guys do such a great job, but I do know you guys are in constant communication. I do know it gets a little hectic along the way. Do you have time to just kind of relax and enjoy it?
I'm riding up front, so I relax. Yeah.
Well, Chuck, we appreciate everything you do. You guys be safe. Do you have any FNGs in your squad?
I believe I'm not for sure, but I think we have around 50 FNGs. I have 6. I have 6 in my squad.
Wow. So how many people are going on this ride this year?
80 bikes this year.
80 bikes.
Yeah.
Dude, you got your hands full. I'm going to let you go and get prayed up and ready to go.
Okay, thanks, Scott.
All right, now I'm running into three very distinguished gentlemen here. Can you tell me what exactly are you guys doing here for this send-off for Rolling Thunder?
I certainly can. We are FedEx pilots, FedEx Express, and we are here to honor a fallen hero, Lieutenant Colonel John Stewart, who was shot down over Vietnam in the summer of 1972. But what makes it special to us is that his son is one of our aircraft mechanics who works over here in the West Hangar, right here in Indianapolis. So we're here not only to honor his father, the fallen hero, but to support him and his wife as they proceed on their ride.
That is really awesome of you guys. Have you ever been a part of anything like this?
Now this is our first time. So there are about 85 pilots based here in Indianapolis. So this is a relatively new domicile for the company. And we're just starting to get plugged into this type of local activity, and we wanted to support our guys in the hangar.
I can't say enough for what you guys did out here today, and just thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure and an honor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
How would you describe, in a nutshell, what is Texas Corral?
Texas Corral is more than a restaurant. It's actually it's a Texas-themed dining experience. It's good for the whole family if you want to come and bring everyone, or if you just want to come in and have a beer. It's totally fine either way.
And just like in Texas, everything is bigger here.
Absolutely. We have big beers, big samplers, but low prices.
So whether you're taking the family out to dinner, or if you just finished riding the back roads of beautiful southern Indiana with your buddies on the motorcycles, Texas Corral is the place to be. Two great locations.
The attorneys at Leidendorf Law have over 100 years of experience in personal injury and wrongful death litigation. Call us at Leidendorf Law. Leidendorf Law, like family, because we are. This is a standard lawyer commercial. This is a dramatic shot of me walking down the hallway. This is a stage scene of me talking to clients, even though they're not actual clients. This is the closing shot in my office, where I say my catchphrase, looking professional and confident. Look, all lawyer commercials are the same, but not all lawyers are the same. Leidendorf Law has been involved in the motorcycle community for over 35 years, with many more years to come. Leidendorf Law, like family, because we are.
So Rachel, you are the Southside Harley-Davidson featured woman rider today. I absolutely love this trike. Tell me about your bike.
It's 2013 Harley 103. I got 20,000 miles on it. I love it. I ride it everywhere. Go to the grocery store, put stuff in the back, go shopping.
You know, and you can do that on a bike like this, which I think is cool. One of these days I'll probably have one because of that reason. I'll be having my vacuum strapped to the back of it though. So did you go through the riding course to learn how to ride, or
I took the A-Bait course in Clarksville, Indiana.
So what did you think about that?
Loved it. Glad I did it. I had never rode anything before, nothing. And I signed up for the class, and I got on that little 500. And I'm like, this is so heavy. I can't do this. And I took the course, got my license. A week later, I bought a bike, 2 wheels. I put 40 miles on it, and I'm like, oh, I made a mistake. Went down to Edinburgh, but went up to Edinburgh and test drove a trike, and I haven't stopped since.
Do you have any kind of bucket list that you're going to go on any kind of big long rides? Although you've already done so many big long rides, I don't know that it matters. But do you have any bucket list stuff for your bike?
I want to ride the East Coast. I want to do that, and I plan on headed over to Texas when I get back to Louisiana. Try to do some riding over there. I've been out to Sturgis. That was cool. So I'm going down now.
Well, you're pretty much badass. You've been all over the place. I'm jealous. But I love it, absolutely love it. You're a woman rider and you love to ride, and that's what it's all about. So just go out there and have a good time.
It's the best thing I ever did. I absolutely love it.
Mother Nature is my playground, and when I hit the trail, I drive hard. And Mother Nature, she hits back even harder. Line-X protects my vehicle inside and out, guaranteed to withstand even the harshest of elements. I've learned that anything worth protecting is worth overprotecting. Because when protection matters most, I Line-X it.
Motorcycle riders want the freedom of the open road. Unfortunately, other motorists often do not give riders the proper attention the law requires. Call us at Leidendorf Law. Like family, because we are.
At Hangout of Flames, we've added a lot to our showroom. We've added lots of biker gear, lots of lighting, a lot of accessories. We've added Parts Unlimited and drag specialties to our unlimited supply of parts we can get for you.
Here at Hangout of Flames, we let you come in the back, show you things about your bike that you didn't know, teach you about them, and work with you on your bikes. We work on metric standards, Yamaha, Harley, four-wheelers, dirt bikes, everything and anything you have. It's a great place to come in and get your bike worked on, or even come in and hang out.
As you know, for the last few years, we've been involved with Jeff and Karen Saturday with their People's Burn Camp. Well, now they've merged with the Hoosier Burn Camp, and this is our first time up here at their facility. We're going to do a motorcycle parade route around the camp, and then we're going to check it out and see everything there is to see. Ah! Lou, you having fun up here? Well, Mark, we're out here at the Hoosier Burn Camp. This is a big day and obviously a big event getting ready to take place. Beautiful place, never been here before. Where exactly are we?
We are, and the beautiful thing about being out here in the country is that we've got a lot of greenery around us, not too far off of the interstate, but we are in Brookston, Indiana, which is about, I'd say about 60 miles north of Indianapolis.
Okay. Now, what exactly is taking place today? Because this is a lot.
Yeah, this is one of our best days. This is called our Visitors Day, and we're hoping to have, we've ordered good weather, as you can see. We're hoping to have about 800 guests come on in and provide all kinds of wonderful opportunities for adolescent burn survivors. We have about 75 8 to 18-year-olds all throughout the state of Indiana, and 58 dedicated staff that take time off of work just to be able to provide the very best opportunity for our kids as possible.
So now, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for 19 years now. We started back with probably about a dozen children in 1999, and now we run programs January through December. So it's not unusual for us to work with close to 200 unique burn survivors throughout the course of the calendar year.
You know, over the few years, we've had the opportunity. We were working with the Braveheart Camp, Camp Saturday, and I know you guys have all kind of merged together here, and this is the first time up at this facility, and I got to tell you, this is absolutely beautiful up here. My heart went out the very first time I ever got around this. I personally was burned years ago, so I understand a small portion of it, because I obviously didn't experience half of what most of these kids are experiencing. Certainly. But I understand. Certainly. And man, I'll tell you what, to be able to come up here and see this on a visitor day, this is quite an episode up here.
Absolutely. And you talk about burn injury, any medium in which you can get burned, we have representation. Gasoline, propane, fireworks, microwave accidents, bonfires, traditional house fires. Unfortunately, we have representation in any one of those mediums, and speaking as someone who's been burned as well, you can understand the pain associated with that. It's also not unusual for some of our kids to have anywhere from 50 to 60 reconstructive surgeries before they turn 18. So the physical part of it is almost impossible for all of us to wrap our mind around. But the emotional trauma associated with it, that's where we come into play. We really work on helping these children realize their full potential, and just grateful for folks like yourself that come out and spend the day with us and help us achieve those goals.
Well, and what you guys are doing is fantastic. You guys actually jumped on board early this year. We were able to contact you, little Josie down in Martinsville. We did a little thing there, and as far as I know, she's registered in here at camp, I believe.
You're absolutely correct. She's having a great time. I know if anything, Mom was a little anxious. I saw a social media post going, we haven't heard from Josie. She's doing good. And we, of course, reassured and said, we normally don't have the kids call home. They're having a blast. It's almost like being on vacation or at a conference. It's the folks back home sometimes that are a little homesick. But the kids have had a tremendous time, and Josie would obviously fit within that category.
Yeah, well, she had all sorts of energy anyway, so I had a feeling she was going to fit right in here. But very thankful for you guys to come on board the way you did with such short notice and everything else. I really appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate it as well. And if I could articulate this as politically correct as I can, you've been phenomenal to work with. When you meet somebody within a few minutes, you can usually ascertain if they got fabulous character and the real deal, and obviously, without a doubt, you fit like glove in hand. So we appreciate your time and willingness to help us out and tell our story.
Well, when it comes to stuff like this, you just have to be real. Yeah. And that's the only quality I have is I can be real.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And I can dress up and look kind of nice, but I can't wait to get into shorts and get in the water and the pool and play with the kids. So my time's coming pretty soon for that as well.
Well, I tell you what, I think we're getting ready to do some of that same stuff, so I think we're going to mosey on and go see what else is around here, but thank you so much for talking to us.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming out today, and we appreciate the time and your talent as well.
Hey, man, we're up here at the Hoosier Burn Camp doing the ride here on a Wednesday. Beautiful day. Have you ever done this before?
Actually, this is my first year. I'm a full-time career firefighter as well, and this is my first time getting out here to do the ride.
What's your thought about all this?
Wow. I have actually not had the chance to get up here because of work schedule, and this is my first year, and I am blown away. With my new schedule, I'll be here every year. Absolutely.
I was surprised. Here it is. It's a Wednesday for one, but it's a Wednesday right after a holiday weekend, so we have already had Monday off, and so I thought, well, surely there won't be that many people. This thing, they blow it out of the park here.
I think they understand what some of these kids have gone through, man, and this is an opportunity to – the whole camp's about them feeling normal. And you know what? This is a chance to make them feel better than normal. Yeah. And I think that's what everybody comes out for, man, just to see the smiles.
So you're doing it again next year, huh?
Absolutely. I wouldn't miss the opportunity. Absolutely.
I'll tell you, it's a long ride for me just to get here, but, man, well worth it once I got here.
Well, it was a nice ride coming up, a couple construction spots, but everybody was safe. There were no accidents. It was just a great ride. We had a cop leading us the whole way. We had people blocking intersections. It was perfect, man. It absolutely was.
So now they told me there'd be several big groups coming from different locations. So where'd you guys come up from?
We came out of Carmel, Indiana. Okay. And I'm actually from just south of here. I'm from Lafayette. But we went down to Carmel and came with a group. And then when we got here, I didn't realize we had groups coming from other parts of the state either. When we got into here, I saw other bikes. I'm like, well, there's no way we all came from the same spot. So right. There's a massive bikes here, man. It's awesome.
Well, it's a cool thing, man. Thank you so much for talking to us, and God bless you.
Absolutely. God bless you, brother. Have a good one.
All right, John. Okay, for me, I'm sorry. You're Johnny Soko, but you were one of them that came out. You actually came out when we did the benefit for Josie. And here you are now. You're at camp. This is what you do, huh?
Yes, sir. I've been doing this now for 9 years. I started off in 2008 as a camper and transitioned more into a counselor role in 2014 after I graduated high school. And I've been in love with it ever since my first day I started here. After the first couple days in 2008, I knew it was something I wanted to be a part of. I wanted to be a part of for the rest of my life. I love the kids, and I enjoy being here. It's amazing.
And it's evident. When I met you down there at the back, that was early. That was like March, I think it was. It was still early in the year, really not riding season. Not a lot of bikes showed up. You came out, you hung out, you stayed there, and you made sure that Josie got registered for camp and all that. And, man, I can't thank you enough. And if you deal with this every year, you're an amazing person.
I appreciate that. When I met Josie, she seemed like a really nice girl, just full of energy for someone that went through such a traumatic experience, as soon as she did. It was just so recent, and I just want to go out there and just bring more people in that I possibly can. We like to say that more is better, but also it's kind of a catch-22 situation, because obviously the more burn survivors we have, it's very unfortunate, but also in the same sense, we want to have 100% of them here because we just love them and they love coming to camp. They enjoy being around other people who have been through the same thing they have.
Right. Well, John, thank you so much. I know you're busy. I'll let you go.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Gil, we get to see you again this year. I didn't know what was going to happen. We know, Braveheart kind of merged in with Hoosier Burn Camp and all that, and I didn't know who all would be here. It's nice to see a familiar face. This is my first time ever being up here, so obviously a lot of new faces to see. What's your perspective? This is your first time, correct?
Yes, this is my first time too. Coming from California, always went to Bravehearts for the last 14 years. So coming here is my first. What a difference as far as volume and kids and sponsors and this, that, and the other. There's so much stuff here. It's almost like going to the state fair. They have so much stuff here for the kids. It's like the fire trucks that came up here and the motorcycle guys that came up here and the big loop that we did. Craziness. Craziness. It's like being in the parade at the Rose Parade down in Los Angeles.
Now, for our viewing audience that maybe hasn't seen some of the early, several years ago when we first met you, what brings you out to Indiana? You live in California. Now, I know you're a Dodgers fan, but I believe you live up north now in Northern California. But what brings you to Indiana every year?
Well, originally it started out that I was a part of a board for America's Female Firefighters, and we were donating our money to the PBF, People's Burn Foundation. And so they asked us to come to camp, and so that was my first time at a camp, and been coming for the last 14 years. As a firefighter, you always put kids and parents or whoever was burned into an ambulance, and you never saw them again. Well, by coming here, it made me realize there's a whole lot more that goes on after a kid is saved, as far as surgeries and recovery and things like that. And so once you meet the kids one year, you meet them for life. You get your tearjerker moments, and then you go, that's why I'm here, and that's what I'm doing. And a lot of people donate stuff to me to bring here. Like we brought over 10,000 water balloons ready to go for one of the events we're going to do tomorrow. And they donated packages and packages and packages of these quick fill water balloons. So if you're around, duck, because you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit. But they sponsor me, so on Facebook, every day I'll say one time at Burn Camp, and then I'll have a description of our day, because they like to see the things that I post, the kids, the activities, and things like that. So that's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Gil.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Glad to be here.
I know it's not correct to have a favorite camper, but I have a favorite camper this year, and this is Josie. Josie, you were actually one of the first, I think the first episode of this season. We had a benefit down there in Martinsville for you. You made it to camp. What do you think?
It's awesome.
Would you do this again?
Definitely.
What's your favorite part about camp?
Swimming.
Is that right? So how are you feeling physically? You getting around pretty good?
Yeah.
You look wonderful. You look with the smile on your face. You're having fun. And everybody said, oh, she's got energy. She's going to enjoy camp. So if you could tell somebody on TV about camp or try to get them to come out, what would you tell them?
This camp is really fun, and you do a lot of fun stuff.
And you've got Paula. I actually happen to know that counselor from the Braveheart camps. Is she being nice to you?
Yeah.
Well, Josie, I'm going to let you go. This is a fun day, and there's a lot of stuff going on, so I'm going to let you go and have a good time. But thanks for talking to us, and I'm just so happy to see you here.
You're welcome.
Still Horse is brought to you by Leidendorf Law, with over 60 years experience in motorcycle and automotive injury cases.
Thunder itself, in the 30th year. Let me redo that. All right, Chuck. Now, you were actually one of the road captains. Oh, yeah, my turn first. I forgot. All right. Hello, Captain Dan. I know you guys came out here. You